This is our life raft. This is a Revere 6-person inflatable life raft. U.S. Coast Guard approved, ocean rated. If Epiphany ever sinks, this goes overboard. We yank on the cord, it pops open, inflates, and we got a life raft to get in and don't drown. It's been just strapped to the deck for 2 years now, because when I bought it, it didn't come with a bracket to mount it in. At the used boat parts store, Mother's Ocean up in Key Largo, I found, while Carissa and Philip are here, they're helping me with my projects. What are you doing, Carissa?
I'm wrapping butyl tape on whatever these are called.
Riv nuts! We're going to mount the rack in the deck with riv nuts. They're like rivets, except they're threaded to take 1/4 screws. So Carissa is wrapping them with butyl tape, so they will seal in the deck and will not allow water to get into the deck and rot out my balsa core. And she's also already has butyl tape on all of the 1/4 screws that we'll do the mounting with. So there'll be butyl tape on the screw heads to seal them, butyl tape on the riv nuts to seal them in the deck, and then we'll just put butyl tape underneath the feet of the bracket, and that'll prevent any moisture intrusion into the deck.
For measuring, or?
Yeah, what do you got?
I have 29.5.
All right, same thing I got on this end.
Yep.
Measure this end here.
I got 28 even.
Okay, the feet are offset a little bit, so that's perfect. Let's mark it for drilling. After marking the location where we want each riv nut, we use our spring-loaded center punch to mark the center of each hole, so the drill bit will go into the fiberglass and not wander, and we'll get a good clean hole. The key to using riv nuts, or rivets, basically what it is, it's a threaded rivet, in anything is drilling the proper size hole, especially in softer materials like fiberglass. Using our dial indicator, we're measuring this riv nut OD of about 3 8/1000. And measuring our drill bits, we've got one here that is 3 11/1000. So within 2 thousandths oversized should be perfect to get a good tight riv nut fit for 1/4 riv nuts. And just by coincidence, that's a 5/16 drill bit. Okay, let's drill some holes. Even though it's windy, I don't want all these little shards of fiberglass everywhere, so I'll turn my vacuum on. And line it up. Balsa core in there, and we don't want to drill too deep into it, but just enough to get the riv nuts in. The 5/16 holes we drilled are really tight. 2 thousandths clearance isn't quite enough to get these in. You can see we got to beat them up with a hammer pretty good. So we're adding a 32nd to the drill bit size, and just wallowing the hole out a little bit. That's an 11 32nd drill bit. You can see the riv nut fits a lot better. You see the butyl tape oozing out. Screw the tool down into it. Now squeeze it, Philip. All the way. Boom. Now unscrew the tool. Now we've got 1/4 threads to mount it. We'll put the rest of them in.
So Tiny, what are we doing here?
All right, we're getting ready to mount the rack. You can see where the butyl tape is oozing out of all the rib nuts. We've got butyl tape around the heads of the screws from the other side. Now we're going to put butyl tape on the foot surfaces because we really don't want water getting into our balsa core. So a good layer of butyl tape here, and then since this is a kind of a curved surface, we'll have to pack it in around the edges where, you know, to make sure we got a good seal. But we'll start like this and go from there. What part of butyl tape did I not tell you about? Finding it a little difficult to get all the screws in because the rib nuts aren't perfectly plumb in some of them. So I'm going to use the drill and open up the holes in the feet here just a little bit to give me a little more wiggle room. Nothing flat, nothing square on a boat. We got 11 screws in all the way, nice and tight. We got one that's cross-threaded. We're not going to worry about it. It's this one here. We'll just pack butyl tape around it. And we're using a screwdriver bit to pack the butyl tape up underneath the edges to fill the void where it's round. And that'll make a good watertight seal once we get this done. So if we do some packing, and we'll show you the final result. Another project complete. This wasn't the exact bracket for this life raft, but it was affordable. So we got it on there. Had to kind of create an attachment point there with some 550 cord. But that's good and sturdy. It's not going nowhere. I think it looks decent. I'm happy. It's secure. Main point is it's functional. And that's a wrap.